Benny Affleck, can't you see the division doesn't work for free? They took your daughter and you say you're gonna get her back on this day. Benny Affleck, can't you see that Robert Rodriguez has some issues? He can't figure out what to do, so Hypnotic doesn't see it through. Hypnotic was written and directed by Robert Rodriguez, who's done many movies, from Spy Kids to From Dusk Till Dawn, Sin City. He's produced a lot of shit. Robert Rodriguez, his filmography isn't perfect, but more often than not, he's stylish. He understands how to have pizzazz and humor and life and energy, and even though he doesn't bat 1,000, no director bats 1,000. Robert Rodriguez, you put his name on the tin, and usually, oh my goodness, Robert Rodriguez, I gotta check this out. And it was also written by Max Bornstein, who did Godzilla, and then Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm starting to sense a bit of a pattern. And this stars Ben Affleck as Danny Rourke, who's a cop looking for his missing daughter. One day, he was out at the park. She was spinning around, having a the spin wheel stuff. She was just spinning around, having fun, and suddenly she was gone. He looked away for just a second. And any parent would be absolutely terrified and wondering, oh my God, where is my kid? Where is my kid? Where is my kid? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? I don't know, Nick Cage. Why are you in The Wicker Man? That came out in 2006. You're doing better now. This doesn't have Nick Cage. Nick Cage would have drastically helped this movie. I would rather see this movie reshot with Nick Cage in the role, because Jesus Christ, he would have put more emotion into it than Ben fucking Affleck. Ben Affleck, who isn't a bad actor. I mean, granted, Good Will Hunting wasn't good. I still maintain that movie is vastly overrated, even though it did launch him and Matt Damon's careers. But Ben Affleck has been good in stuff. Not Deep Water, that was shit. But this, yes, he's a cop. He's looking for his missing daughter. And then we get William Fichtner. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Look at the guy, you'll recognize him. He's a really good character actor, been in a lot of good stuff. He plays Del Rain, and he is a man that he knows what's going on with the missing daughter. He knows, but he's not going to tell. And it turns out he has hypnotic powers in a movie called Hypnotic. Oh my God, Robert Rodriguez just struck on the formula. Fool the people by doing something so simple. Anyway, so yeah, Ben Affleck's Danny, oh hi Danny, must figure out what's going on. He must solve this mystery before his daughter is history. Hypnotic tales... I forgot what I was saying. Okay, Hypnotic didn't look all that great based on the trailers. It does have Alice Braga in it, who is a very good actress. She's quite lovely also. She plays Diana Cruz, and there's other people in this. Really, it's just centered around these two characters and also William's character. There's a few others. There's Carl, played by Jeff Fahey. There's Jackie Earle Haley, there's Zane Holtz, and there's Kelly Fire, and there's a few other people. There's the character of River, who I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his name because I've just screwed it up, but there's various people you will recognize in this movie, and with Robert Rodriguez's slick production and great work on cinematography, it was a can't-miss prospect. Yeah, it missed. It missed so goddamn much that if it had somehow, just gone completely around to get to the point, it would have gone further around the other way and would have careened headfirst into a goddamn wall. Hypnotic basically is about various hypnotics. Not just one, multiple people. It turns out there are a lot of people that know how to be a hypnotic and control people and control their very being. And oh my God, you're making them do things they don't want to do. And they will not stop until you are dead. They're the Terminator. God, James Cameron should sue, except he should worry more about not making crap Avatar sequels or making anything crap after, well, Terminator 2 or True Lies. True Lies was good. Nevertheless, there's not much to this movie. I mean, it tries to be all mind-bending and Inception-like. Here's the problem. You can see what's coming from a mile away, and then you can see everything else coming from about 10 miles away. Robert Rodriguez really went lazy on this. Ben Affleck went lazy, but Ben Affleck's been coasting on his goddamn reputation since before Batman, in my opinion. But this was just terrible. And it was only 87 minutes, yet it felt like it went on forever. It felt like it was twice that length. RRR, which is a terrific Tollywood movie. Sorry I mispronounced it in my review. I apologize for anybody that's a long-time subscriber. You'll know. That was 3 hours, and that flew by. That was incredible. Hypnotic is like if Robert Rodriguez was trying to be Alfred Hitchcock's corpse, except Alfred Hitchcock's corpse could have come up with something better. Also trying to be like Christopher Nolan. If Christopher Nolan, well, not Interstellar Christopher Nolan, but good Christopher Nolan. I maintain that Interstellar was absolute goddamn shit. Hypnotic is also shit. Hypnotic is one of the worst films of the year, by far. Because there's secret government operation stuff, and there's hypnotic things, and spoopy powers, and bendy stuff, and other words, and crazy things going on eventually that you don't care about. You don't care about any of the characters. This whole thing of finding the daughter, it turns out to actually be a completely ridiculous story. More ridiculous than what I could have come up with, mainly because I stopped caring what the hell happened. It wasn't I couldn't figure it out, I just stopped caring. And when a movie makes me not care, congratulations, Hypnotic. You've achieved a new level of shit. You really have. One funny thing, though, in the beginning of this that made me not be able to take it seriously was he got out of something called, it was a therapy session, is a Division of Occupational Therapy, or DOOT. And the instant I heard DOOT, I said, well, that's it. This movie's toast. I can't take this seriously because all I've been laughing about is the word DOOT. Why I'm like this, I don't know. I don't goddamn know. But it's not good. You don't care about any of the characters. Everybody that you think could be a villain, oh, this person's a villain. This person's a villain. No, I'm a powerful Hypnotic. No, I'm a more powerful Hypnotic. It's like kids on the playground. No, you can't pierce my armor because it's this times, infinity plus 1. They just keep moving the goalpost back and further and everything. And my God, my Jesus. How dare you? How fucking dare you, Hypnotic? How dare you, with this star power, Robert Rodriguez, do this? Was this put through the goddamn ringer? Was this put through the editing process where they just cut up large chunks and they said, there, that's good enough? Because the story's simple, incomprehensible, but also, like, a first grader could have fucking wrote this. Somebody with half a brain could have wrote this. So Sid Vicious would have been able to. Anybody who gets that is a deep cut wrestling fan. And Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, rest in peace Scott Hall, just laughed. Yeah, Hypnotic was bad. Really, really bad. Because they could... There's nothing wrong with trying to make it mind-bending and trying to take inspiration from Hitchcock and Nolan. Good Nolan, not Interstellar. But Robert Rodriguez couldn't do that and unfortunately wasted the star power that he had. So I'm going to get into spoilers. It's in theaters. I guarantee this is going to be out on streaming within 4 to 6 weeks. I cannot see this doing well in theaters at all. It's trash. It's absolute goddamn trash. So anyway, 3, 2, 1... spoilers. Okay, so it turns out that what happened is William's character, Del Rey, is this powerful Hypnotic, and then Alice Braga's character, Diana, comes in and basically says once a bank robbery can't be stopped by Danny, he finds out about the safe deposit box because things are getting stolen. So he goes in there. He gets this picture that it says it's a message. It's a message. Find this person. Find this person. What the hell is this? And then it turns out that William's character was looking for that. And he's so powerful, he makes this woman think it's so hot. She causes a wreck. She takes all but her top off and her pants off, and she's bathing in the goddamn wetness and everything. And okay, I see. They can film a dirty, wet blonde out on the street, and it's put on film. And I do it, and I'm taken to court. Can't talk about that, though, until the cases are settled. Let's move on. And then this bank robbery doesn't get stopped. William Del Rey is like just doing all this mind-bendy stuff, and then he talks to Alice Braga's character. She's a hypnotist, and it turns out actually that she was a really, really powerful one, but Del Rey is more powerful than her, and then da-da-da-da-da-da, I'm going to help you find your daughter. And then also, if anybody gets, under the hypnotic spell, they will not stop until their mission is completed, and you have to kill them. So there you go. There was this one point where his cop partner was handcuffed. He tried to kill them, was handcuffed to the jail cell, and then was trying to rip his hand off, and then she shot him, and oh my goodness, she shot a cop, how could you? And then Then they're on the run, and then they're in this diner, and then they convince this Texas Ranger cop guy something or other, because this has to be in Texas, because it's Robert Rodriguez. She convinces him, the cop, to take him to the border. And then also, at one point, Ben Affleck is besieged by Del Rey and a couple cops, and they go among these trains and everything, and all this weird bendy-mindy stuff and everything, and woo, it's doing this cleaning under the glass table so you can see what she's doing. But no, anyway, it's just all this weird bendy stuff where it's just rotating and doing all this, and I wish these trains would have rotated. It was like watching Ohio with that train fire and that chemical fire that people have forgotten about. Nevertheless, they end up getting over the Mexican border, or the U.S.-Mexican border. This is why we need a wall, shrieks all these goddamn racist bastards that are pieces of shit. But in all seriousness, she hypnotizes the border guard. They sneak over. They go to see a friend. This friend actually is William, or Del Rey, rather, because he possesses him. And then does this weird stuff where he's hypnotizing Danny, who's on a bike and sees all these weird buildings and all this weird shit going on. Oh my God, and then they're cornered by a mob of Mexican people. It's like Land of the Living Dead. What the hell is the name of the Land of the Living Dead? Bobby answers in the comments. What do they call the Day of the Dead in Mexico? I forgot what they called it. Muerta, I think, is like one of the only words I know. Nevertheless, they're cornered, and then Del Rey's like, kill him. And then it turns out suddenly, oh no, Diana can't do it. She's powerful, but she's not that powerful. And then suddenly, oh shit, it turns out that Ben Affleck's actually hypnotic. He has hypnotic powers. He's all powerful, maybe, or maybe he's just powerful enough to stop Del Rey here. It's never really fully explained, and then it kind of is, and then it kind of isn't. Basically what it turns out is they go to various hideouts, they go to various places, people that Diana has known. She's been on the run for a while. She kept a low profile because Del Rey is so deadly. And then it turns out that she's actually been working for this thing called the Division. There's this thing called Project Domino. Project Domino, this all-powerful thing that could wipe out the memories of every single hypnotic and Del Rey wiped his own memory out. So he wouldn't remember this, but it would come back to him. He would go for clues that he left, like were Men in Black 2? Was it Men in Black 2 where Tommy Lee Jones did that? The whole point, doing that makes no sense at this point. He erases his memory, but his memory is still there. And he finds these clues to reset his memory, and then this Division can't find him. And he can find Project Domino, because he knows the location of it. This all-powerful device. And then it turns out that Diana's actually been playing Danny, because Danny actually got hypnotized by William after receiving a spam call. That's why you don't answer your spam calls, because then some guy might try to hypnotize you. That's the only reason why. But it turns out that Diana actually is working for the Division and trying to get Danny to reveal Project Domino, because Danny knows where it is. You know why Danny knows where it is? Because Project Domino isn't an object, it's a person. It's the daughter. The daughter that was born of two hypnotics. Not Danny and his original wife, no. But Danny and Diana were actually together. And they, as powerful hypnotics, gave birth to a very powerful hypnotic daughter that's been on this particular plot of land that was, that two people owned, that raised Danny from birth. And also knew Alice Braga's character, Diana. It's almost implied that they're brother and sister. I mean, they're not. I think they were foster kids. But still, okay, two foster, whatever. Jesus, I don't care. They had this big old shootout with all these people. It turns out that this whole thing is mind bendy, and all this. And there's all these simulations. And they built this giant construct, like this Hollywood backlot thing where Roddy Piper and Goldust are having... I almost said something in the afterlife, and then I realized Goldust wasn't dead. And if you're a longtime wrestling fan, you know. If you're not, you are hopelessly lost. But nevertheless, this backlot thing, Danny has erased his memory 12 times. And they've been trying to figure out where Project Domino is, a.k.a. the daughter. And no, that doesn't work. And then Danny says, well, let's try for number 13. And then he escapes. And then he gets to this ranch place. And then there's this big old shootout with all these people. He meets the daughter, pushes all these dominoes that are set up. And then the dominoes end. He finds his daughter, hasn't seen her for a few years, and then brings her out. She talks to Diana, because Diana's her mother, and she's trying to bring her back. And then there's these two people, these just two random people, like, you know, that own this plot of land. Big old shootout. The daughter makes everybody turn their guns on everybody, including Delrain. Hooray! Hooray! He did that, by the way. The message, find this on the picture, was actually Deer Valley Lane, which just sounds like, I don't know, it just sounds like some kind of My Bloody Valentine album, or maybe something that will be on Tubi at some point. Deer Valley Lane just sounds like a bad horror movie. Nevertheless, they have this big old shootout, and then it turns out, wait, no, it's a construct. It's not real. They're not on this plot of land. They're on a different plot of land. The two people that own this thing burst out with shotguns, kill all these people, and then they take off in the helicopters, because we close with the good people living, because Diana had her spell cracked and she's fine. She's fine now, and the family's all back together, and the mother goes with them, I guess. And then we get shots during the credits, and then it gets ultimately revealed, shock of shocks, that William Fisher's character actually was alive. He killed the dad character, and now he's going to go after them. They think they're going to get a sequel out of this. Good job, Robert Rodriguez. You think that this is going to deserve a sequel. You think this deserves a sequel. God damn it. Hypnotic gets an F. This is terrible. This is goddamn terrible. One of the worst films of the year. God, I'm saying that about a lot of movies. There's been a lot of good shit. There's been a lot of okay shit. But there has been some really dire shit. And Hypnotic is right up there. Agree, disagree what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rentlin. I'll see you soon.